Hey, what up, Long Beach? Welcome back to the 562.org. It's Mike.
And Tyler, and this high school football highlight is brought to you by the fine folks down at Naples Rib Company, and all of our football coverage this season is sponsored by the Terry Donahue Memorial California Showcase, the largest free recruiting event in the state.
All right, Wyatt Pelham is ready for a wild one at the DeHaven Corral. Old friend alert, Millikan hosting former Moore League foe Downey and quarterback Oscar Rios. This is a historic game in many ways, Tyler, but up front, a trigger warning for defensive coordinators.
We hope you like points. Rios gonna show off his legs early on, laying them down and showing he can get it done with his feet. And then Bernardo Blanco, the running back. Ooh, look at him go, Mike.
Bernardo Blanco and the Yayo Whites, Tyler, absolutely hustling down the field, and then Rios is gonna plunge in for the first, but not the last touchdown of this football game.
Promise?
I do promise. JP Mielowski to the Moose. Jude Nelson, he's motoring down the field. Millikan and Downey both picking up big chunks of yardage early. And then Anthony League, yeah, he's over there, is going to punch it in. The Rams would get a 2-point conversion to take a lead 8-7.
Okay, so our first lead change. We might see a couple more of those. League showing he's a two-way star as he tracks Rios down for the sack. Not a lot of negative plays for the offenses tonight, but there was one.
There's one. Rios to Damani Porras on a beautiful ball. That's going to put the Vikings up 14-8 with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And you could kind of feel this game revving up. 4th and short. Millikan needs a first down conversion here. X gambles and bounces outside, but scared money don't make money, and he cashes that one in for a huge gain on 4th and inches.
Yeah, X isn't ducking fades there, and then Mielowski with the sneak. He's going to plunge in for the tubby as Millikan goes back on top. But when you mean it, you put it on the Bible. Sir Bible, defensive player, but catches the 2-point conversion as a tight end. It's 16-14 Millikan as they double up again with the 2-point conversion.
Millikan, though, is going to get our first stop of the game, a huge stop at midfield, and they would receive a punt after that with a chance to take control of this game, but it's a fumble going the other direction, and we're back on the all-offensive script. So now it's kind of like Downey just got a long conversion, basically, and they pick up right where they left off.
Right, they just traded non-touchdowns, except Downey ended up with better field position, and then look at Blanco with the footwork. I mean, get busy, big fella, hustling, and barreling his way deep into Rams territory. And just look at the footwork here, a human ladder drill as Blanco's going to punch it in for a touchdown, spikes it down, Downey up top 21-16. Big night for Blanco.
4th and 1, a close call here on a big conversion, but the spot would award this to the Vikings. And then Rios is going to make the most of it. A really smooth player, very in control of himself, Tyler. See him switching the ball to the outside hand. And then look at the read step by Blanco on that little shift to the left and cuts it inside. Really a tough guy to handle. And then once the defense is worrying about Blanco, Rios happy to take advantage. Did a really good job of mixing up his read option plays. Downey up 27-16.
Yeah, both those guys carried it 22 times. They were busy, but the X factor from Millikan, Xavier Jones, up the sideline, almost a 50-yard gain there as he gets shoved out of bounds. And then Mielowski on the rollout, great vision, and tucks it into a window as Landon Ross is there at the pylon for the touchdown. Back and forth we go. It's a 3-point game, almost at halftime, but the points are still coming, baby.
Yeah, almost to halftime is a relative term. Rios to Porras, and oh my God, Downey right back at you as easy as you like. Only took him 18 seconds to answer Millikan's score. And then Anthony, in a league of his own, he says, "You left us 60 seconds? Bet."
Right, that is far too much time as he's going to churn his way down the field for the Rams in a league of his own and in for the touchdown. Anthony League has just been balling out the last few weeks behind that big offensive line.
It's 33-31 at halftime. Wow. You can see the student section's enjoying themselves. We're enjoying ourselves. And if you're wondering why there's so many touchdowns, well, Tyler, that's what happens when the touchdown moth lands on your hat.
It touched down and wouldn't let go for the entire second half. What the hell was going on? It was so weird. I didn't like it.
Millikan takes a 37-33 lead just 45 seconds into the second half. It's game on with Xavier Jones. X, gonna give it to you. And he did that on that first drive, getting the Rams going here in the second half.
Is the second half going to have a different personality than the first? Not even in the slightest. Rios to Blanco, say hello to my little friend, as he's going to take the screen and get into the red zone. And then Rios in for his third score, 41-38 Downey, 8:34 left in the third. Rios ran for 136 and 3 touchdowns. but it's seventh heaven, baby. Anthony League right back at you, going yard again, 60 yards to the crib as Millikan goes right back on top, 45-41. I'm out of breath.
Honestly, it felt like Millikan was really in control most of the second half, but here Rios rolling out, League reading him. He saw him the whole way. He knew exactly where he was going. He jumps that, makes the interception. As we said, defensive stops so rare in this game. And then Landon Ross says, throw that thing in reverse.
Put it in reverse, Landon. Oh, Lord. He cuts back, and he's going to take this one the distance. So a little bit of a wrinkle there for the Rams. 70 yards to pay dirt. 53-41 Millikan. This is their biggest lead of the night. But can they hold it here as they're 5:11 left in the third? And this time, flipping the script. First, it's Rios getting them to the doorstep. Then Point Blanco as he's going to punch it in for the 6. He also had 3 touchdowns, 171 yards on the ground. As we go to the fourth, Millikan clinging to that 5-point lead. Romeo Pelham just begging his team, come through in crunch time. We just need like one stop, and we should be able to pull this thing off.
Yeah, but it had the feelings of a special game, and it was. Blanco is going to cough it up, and it was off-white that time. Michael Palmer on the recovery, and if you want to see whether these defenses know how big a stop is, look how fired up Michael Palmer is coming off the field with that football. He knows he gave his team a really good chance there, and they're going to cash it in. Mielowski to the Moose. Nelson is going to take it in, and Millikan goes up 60-48 with 9:48 left. Again, just 1 or 2 plays away from putting this game away.
Thought it might be there, but Rios collects the bouncing ball and is able to go back up the middle and slide into Millikan territory. And then later in that drive, Rios, when it rains, it porous as he hits his favorite target. 3 touchdowns on the night for Porras. Downey back within a score, and they need a stop. Millikan the other way on third down and long. Mielowski's pass is tips up into the air, and it's intercepted. This is a huge moment as Downey's going to return this one inside the Millikan 5, and so now they have an opportunity to take the lead right back. This is where the game really shifted, Mike.
Absolutely. That was a huge turnover, very big play from the Downey defense, and just like that, Blanco goes in, and it's now 62-60 Downey with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left. Anthony League says, no problem, give me the freaking rock and let me go to work.
Yeah, you do not want to get in front of that kid when he's got a full head of steam, but Mielowski, nice job with the keeper, and he's going to scamper in to put Millikan on top. That was a 27-yard touchdown run, and now the Rams in front with 2:40 left. They're up by 6, but 2:40 in this game is so much time.
It is so much time, especially with the way Downey and Rios have been managing their offense. And sure enough, they look very smooth. They very quickly got down into the 25-yard or so territory for Millikan. There were some chances for big defensive plays, but you can just see everyone's gassed at this point. It's a hot day, and there's been a lot of running around. Then Rios to Blanco, and holy crap, Downey is going to tie it up with 14 seconds left. Wow. Still needing the extra point to go ahead. Blanco would be okay after that low hit as he's crossing it in the end zone. But a lot of pressure now turns to Downey and their kicker, who had missed an extra point in this game.
Right, it's sophomore Danny Yocupicio. He's going to come up with a huge moment for the Vikings. It was tied. Now they're in front 69-68 with just 14 seconds. You can see how geeked he is to put his team on top in the closing seconds of the game. Mielowski gets it, and Millikan's looking for a miracle here on the hook and ladder. It does not work out. The Vikings fall on the fumble, and that will do it on an unbelievable offensive output between both of these teams. 69-68 is your final. Oh my.
The 13th highest scoring high school football game in the history of the state of California. There's a ton more history you could read about that was made in this game in Tyler's article at the562.org for coverage of this game and everything else in what has already been a crazy football season. You got to keep it right here.